What's going on, guys? So here for the finale of TransAm Week, we have something that I've wanted for years now, and finally just made my decision to go ahead and grab this. And of course, the patrons got to see this before. They knew when it came in, and it is the massive GN Arms Type E with the Gundam Exia TransAm mode. So that's why this is a TransAm Week entry. It's a very different version of a TransAm. It actually more looks like the powered down version, like whenever it's run out of energy and goes red and then dies off. But, I'll talk about that more when we actually look at the Exia itself. But for now, we have a ginormous box, which is easily a large MG box. And you got a great image there of the Exia in the GN arms, letting off some huge GN blast. You've got Natalie there. You've got Dynamis in the GN Arms Type D, which is also really cool. And you got Kyrios down there. So we're all going into the final battle, all armed up with everything we've got. And I love, once again, it's definitely TransAm because you got the red lettering. Now, this is a massive box, so it's going to be real hard to do this the normal way. So you've got Bandai Spirits 2008 down there, and of course Bandai Spirits there, and now Chika Morishita was the artist. So this was a re-release, just so you guys know. Okay, so you've got the GN Arms here in its front and its rear shot, and it's in its flight mode, and you do the whoop, that thing flips back, this thing comes down, you got mode change, and then it shows off different stuff. You got GN Armor, which is pretty much what it is, and you got little arrows there, and hey, this goes shoom, and then whatever that does. And look, hey, it's an Exia in TransAm mode. Sure it is. And you got things here about HG Exia with all kinds of new stuff going on there, new clear parts sticker things. And there it is on its enormous stand. Standa! And then come around to this side, and it's got GN Arms in big red letters there. Did I get... Looks like I scraped up or something. And it is number 13 in the line. So this is actually a much older kit. So way, way before the TransAm kits came out. And I just dumped shavings all over my set here. And of course, you have the obligatory front and rear shots. You've got the read up there, and you've got the 47.4 meters tall, 36.2 when compacted, I guess, 15.3 meters, and probably length, I don't know. And then the different weapons. It's definitely huge. And look at that. You got the read up there, got some of the battle. You've got Setsuna in a really strange stance, and then you got Lasse right there who was piloting the thing with him. You got your obligatory things here with the little guy with the toilet, and look, 3-year-olds probably shouldn't pilot GN Arms because it's a little bit big for them. And then Bandai Spirits, all the things, and down here, no price tag. So roughly this thing is $50 to $60, maybe a little bit more if somebody decides to rip you off. So it is an expensive kit, but it is also huge. Like you do. Too big to be even in frame at this point. It's been a while since I've actually had to do a box this big. I think even the last couple MG boxes I did were smaller ones, huh? So, as a finish to TransAm Week, let's get to it. Alright guys, so first and foremost, we're going to start out with the Exia. Now, we've already looked at multiple Exias this year, so this is going to be the last one, I promise. So, there we go. It's essentially the same, but we're going to do turntable time real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm just going to point out the differences of all the different Exias we've got at this point. But, obviously by the time I got to this one, I'm an Exia building expert for the most part. I think I built them mostly without even looking at the instructions, because I'd already built 3 of them plus an Estrella. So, I mean, 4 deep on these HG Exias. And it's pretty cool. I like the color change for the TransAm bits. I mean, it's so funny to see it in this way where it doesn't have the gloss injection and stuff. Comparatively, so we've already seen regular TransAm Exia, and now there's this. Now, I didn't do any paint work on them or anything like that. This thing might also end up a little bit of custom fodder. So, we'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and knock out the comparisons between this and the other Exias we've got so far. Okay, so you can see he comes equipped with all the normal stuff, like we already looked at. Thanks for the AC coming on just now. But you got the red metallic stickers everywhere, including the face, sides of the head, all of that, and even the red energy stripes there. You got your GN condensers on the sides that actually say, I don't know if I ever pointed it out, that does actually have the Gundam name and stuff in them, like it should, which I do dig that. And then I did use all the stickers on him because just it's easier that way when you're trying to build it. And he was like, literally, I built the entire GN arms and then built the Exia because it's like, I don't need to waste time building that yet. And then you can get the same sticker here on the side. So now comparison time. Here he is with the R2. So this is our first real direct comparison since the beginning. Like, it seems like it's so long ago for you guys, but for me it was like 2 days ago. But you got the shoulders there, obviously different, all this stuff like that. And of course the shield is exactly the same, all those things like that. But the real comparison is, of course, between that and the full TransAm gloss metallic injection version. So, I mean, similar idea, obviously, but this is, like I said, this is more like the powering down, like out of energy version. So it's funny that they went with that. Now, I don't recall in the series while he was in the GN arms that this happened. You know, I don't remember, but maybe like he was in TransAm and most of the energy was being funneled through the GN arms. Sorry, I still got shavings everywhere, but obviously same exact mold, just different colors. So, and the fact that my original Exia for the most part is in pieces, so now I've got this one. But something I can do if I really want to have a more representation of regular Exia, I can totally swap on the arms and the legs and stuff like that with the original uh, stickers, and that really wouldn't. So the chest would be the only thing that looks a little bit odd, maybe the head, but nobody's really going to pay that close attention to it, if I'm honest. Or I'll leave this guy just specifically with the GN arms. Which, let's go ahead and pull that guy out, since that's the big thing we're here to see, right? Okay, so... Alright. Now we've got it at actual height here. And it is a big boy. This is definitely the biggest thing I've built since... I guess since the PG, honestly. I guess the mobile armor from IBO was also big. Like, we're talking about HG things, so this is definitely the biggest HG thing I have. Now, once again, I have the Gundam Narrative Apex, which is, another huge, like, add-on version to a regular Gundam. So we'll see down the line the actual comparison for that and see if it's big. But this is it in its just kind of traveling mode, or its flight mode, however you want to say it. And this is where Lasse is piloting. I'm not going to guess and say the cockpit is like right there. There's a little kind of hatch. But let's do turntable time. Let's see if it can handle something this big. I guess I don't have to do the pan down version here because it's just going to go around the circles. It's working! Because as a build, this was fairly well daunting, if I'm honest. And it was definitely bigger than I expected, but it was a lot of fun. It's something new. Like, it's kind of the same excitement I felt with doing the new Tyrans or even the Ahead this year. It's something new that I had not done before, and I really love the design of it. And of course, it is definitely mimicking some of the bits from the Ptolemaios at that point, and that's why I love it. And you guys can see there, I definitely did my gold treatment on the GN verniers, with the exception of the little guys there. I'll have to paint them after the fact. I've done a little bit of paint work on this, and you can see a little bit coming around here with the red in there. But I like the design, and something is like somewhere between like aquatic mammal, like a whale, and something close to like dinosaurs. Like it's very interesting. Like the design aspects they pull for these things are really freaking neat. But this is definitely one of my favorite things, and I like the fact there are two different types of GN arms, so it's pretty awesome. So let's get it off the stand, and we'll get a closer look at it. Now, of course, with something this large, we do have the obvious issue of trying to move around it and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. It's all modeled mostly in this bluish purple, which is off color from most of the actual Gundams, which is fine with me. And then you got a whole lot of white. Now, color separation on it is actually very good. There's very few stickers you need to use. In fact, most of the ones that are for the main body here are here on the wings, like just these little edges on the wings here, which I'll show off a little bit better later. But like I said, we've already done the spin around, but I do dig it. Now, it is a little fiddly, but it's also pretty solid at the same time. So it's kind of one of those things. Now, you've got what comes out here as being very large GN blasters and or maybe swords. I don't remember if it could do like a big beam attack. But one thing you'll see about this is some very close similarities to later on with the O-Riser. You know, some of the cannons up under here. Like, there's a couple things that led to the development of the O-Riser, and I believe this is one of them. Now, mind you, I'm just saying that because I can see the similarities in the abilities, not to mention it docks for the Gundam and makes things more powerful. And you guys can see the red of those cannons just sort of peeking out there. And yeah, it's just cool. Now, things do move in this mode, but really this is just its flight mode. What we really want is its transformed mode. So, I mean, just get into it. So I'm going to pull it off the stand. I can. It's a pretty solid connection there. Oh, I love this stand, by the way. It's a big, hefty guy. It's very similar to some of the other big stands for larger kits that we've gotten. So if you come down here, you've got the quote-unquote legs. So you can just sort of pull these down, slide that inward. Once again, do the same thing. Just slide that inward. And you can pull this guy down. So that's obviously going to be the crotch peg. Flip this whole center section back, just about as far as it'll go. It'll just tuck back like that. I mean, you can have it more vertical. It doesn't really matter too much. And then slide. Oh, I still does inward. My bad. You want to pull these wings up and the wingtips out. So up and out. That gives you clearance for your arms. And you just untab from back in there, and then you untab from right here and just kind of widen it out. So basically we're just getting it ready for Exia. So the wings get up and out of the way to clear the arms, and I dig that. There's a couple little nub issues there, but that's fine. But you guys can see, I mean, it's like a giant crab at this point. The other thing is you can pick these up a little, get some more room like that, and you can open up those cannons a little. Now these things flip down here, but I'm not entirely certain why. They just do. I don't actually know why there's a reason for that. Oh, one other thing. You can come back here. I forgot. I always forget about these things. So you can pull these guys up and get a little bit more of these thruster exposure. So for more fighting ability, I guess. I don't know. And these do move back here as well. So you can drop those little wingtips back. Those are also, I love the way these are layered. So you get these extra white pieces and stuff like that. So another part of stickers is right in here. You got this little section. That's a sticker. Kind of forgot about that. It goes on all four sides. And then this gray section right here on the leg part is also stickers. So that's pretty cool. So obviously this little guy here is where the GN drive is going to kind of plug into. And then you've got, once again, the rather large GN cannons here. These extend. Now, one thing I'm not going to really be able to show off, it's kind of hard to see. They put a little bit of gold paint inside there. So right up inside there, did some gold paint. Now these very easily like pop out, and they do slide in and out like super easy. So the extended mode is made for attack. I don't understand why you wouldn't have the whole thing extend. I mean, I guess it just doesn't. I don't know. But you got the little turbines in there. I do dig that effect. It looks cool. And you got the arms that do swivel here. They swivel. It's kind of heavy. It's hard to do this at full extension, and they move out here, and then also you can bend it right there, so it can sort of grab things. So it really does have like a grabby mode, I guess, if that's what's up. I mean, personally, I don't want to get in the way of the beam emitters. That's just me. Now, if we're going to finish prepping it for Exia, we need to come down here and flip these little guys open. down there for the feetsies. Go ahead and extend that. I can see I knocked over that sticker a little bit. And then these guys down here, they're just actually, I'll just show it off now because I'm not going to do anything with it later. It is a claw function. So you want to roll that out and pull that thing out. And then these parts are super hard. So you're supposed to slide them forward and pull them up at the same time. And I have the hardest time pulling that off. So you got to lift them and pull them forward. So there you got a claw so that can like catch things. And I could have sworn at some point they had beam sabers like at the tips of these, or maybe I'm just thinking of the thing he was fighting with Albatori or Alvatori or however it was. Which we still have never gotten a kit for. And, you know, even with the anniversary of 00, I'm surprised we never got that. So, there we go. There's his little claws at the end of the feet. They're not super important, but they're a thing you can do. So I'm going to extend the legs down about as good as I can. I'm going to put this on the stand, plug that right back in, because honestly, it's getting hard to maneuver. Come on. Come on, buddy. There we go. Once again, it's pretty hefty. So dig that, move out the arms, just to give myself some clearance. Some clearance, and then do that. And, oops, that's the R2. Not that it matters. You can plug virtually any Gundam that'll fit in here. So for the Exia, just kind of spread the arms. He doesn't actually hold on to anything, which I thought was strange. I figured he would have handles of some sort. And you can put him in here fully armed up. You just kind of have to be mindful of where the weapons go. Kind of want to bend the knees a little. Pop the ankle guard off. As you guys know, that's entirely required to do this. And kind of line up the GN drive there. And then just plug that into the receiver. It's already there. Good. Alright, and then for the feet, you just kind of want to bend the knees. Tuck the toe into the front. Bring it up to meet the foot. And then kind of clamp it in place about as good as you can. It's usually a little bit easier to clamp the front of the toe down and leave the back of the heel just sort of pressed in place. At least that's what I've found. So that way it really is sort of secured in there. And there we go. Now I did knock off the GN sword, but you guys should know that is 100% an option. Now I do sort of wish that it had, like, say, holsters or something for the weapons. Like, you could just store Exia's weapons on the GN arms. I kind of wish that was a thing. And you can bend the arm down a little bit, get some more clearance here. If you can get it down in that little gap back in here, then you're fine. And you just sort of close the arms up and just pretend that he's manipulating it. Like, he sort of was. He's like, he takes control in a way. I mean, it is what it is. There's also a little, kind of some reference to Avalanche Exia here, or even the Dash version, you know, where he's got the big skis and the big weapons and all that stuff. So it's all kind of tied together in similar development from the GN arms. But there you go. It's pretty cool. Like, I love the big thrusters, so it should be able to move around pretty quickly. And I did just use my Mr. Color GX Gold, I believe it is. It's laying here somewhere. Actually, that's not even gold, that's brass. Because the gold was too yellow, but like I said, there it is. And I dig it. Now you can play with the wings a little bit, sort of just get it however you want. You got to kind of watch out for these blasters, because they might go into his shoulders, which of course is a bit tragic. Once again, I don't understand why these open. These seem like they would be right in the way of those, so I leave them closed. I don't know what, really don't know what that was all about, but there we go. I mean, that's freaking awesome. So let me just lower down here, because that's freaking cool. So in comparison to like the R2 for height and size wise, so there's that. And of course, if you bring out all the rest of the Gundams who are kind of on board for this assault, so you've got Curios, Dynamis, not in his GN arms, sadly. Woohoo. Hey, I'm trying to knock everything over again. And then Virtue, sort of off camera there. So I mean, that's pretty hefty. Now, it seems like that there may or may not be another GN Arms review coming soon. Maybe. Might be. We'll see. But for now, actually, I want to compare size-wise, just so you guys can get a real sense of this. There's MG Dynamis. And for those who are like, we should get an MG GN Arms. Do you have any idea? Clearly, look how big that would have to be. I mean, that would be like shaming the Psycho Zaku if you had something that big. But you can see there that you know, it's MG sized for an HG thing, which is crazy. Now, I guess whenever I finally do the NT Gundam, I'm definitely going to have to do the comparison because they are very similar. Or if Thomas Rice maybe brings his over, we can do that comparison. I might have to speak to him about that. Since due to YouTube time travel, he'll be coming over this weekend and bringing over the things that he that he's going to have for this month. It's all complicated. You guys will just have to watch the Double October Diaries, which is so silly that that's the thing that's happening. But all right, let's take a quick break and come back for the final thoughts. Alright guys, so final thoughts wise, I really do dig this thing. It was always one of my favorite designs, so now really I just need to find a way to get one of the Ptolemaeus kits, which is rare and stupid expensive. I do know of a guy in Texas selling one for $500, and I just don't have that. It's new in box, but this thing is really, really fun. I dig it. I really enjoyed building it, and the fact that, you know, I really wanted to add a little bit more detail to it with the gold and the red and stuff like that. And it could use a little bit more, if I'm honest. Like, I wanted to do a little red here on the thrusters. I could do that. Oh, by the way, this one's just Gundam marker red. I forgot to mention that. I don't even know which red it is, but it's just a basic Gundam marker red. I just brushed it on. It came out beautiful, if I'm honest. Like, I really do recommend brushing on Gundam marker now, instead of just applying it directly. It came out super, super nice. And of course, this thing does have playability with the fact you could throw in other second generation Gundams if you want. I mean, you could throw an Estrella in there, anything from season 1. With the exception of Curios, or maybe even Virtue probably can't fit in there, if I'm honest. I mean, you could try, it'd just be a tight fit. Maybe I'll do that for the end credits, that'd be funny. But I recommend it. It is expensive, you know, it's MG money, it's $50 or more. But, I mean, look what you get. It's huge. You got playability with it, you've got a really nice display piece. It cleans up pretty nice, even though I left a few nubs seemingly untouched. And given the history of 00 as a series, this was a fun thing that popped up. Now, if we got his rival for that final big showdown, that would be awesome in my opinion. Get that Albatori and the other little thing. You know, basically all that would be a lot of fun for me. Actually, it'd be kind of fun. I want to throw the 00 Riser in there. See, that'd be hilarious. Oh, by the way, I forgot about that. He was sitting over here. I forgot about him. So once again, you can see like how the, you know, cannons here on the O-Riser are very similar to that, you know, and the similar flight structure. So this is more of a compacted version. And I guess in some ways this probably boosts output, doesn't just rob from the thing. But guys, let me know if you have enjoyed TransAm Week, because I hope you did. So give me a big old thumbs up if you like TransAm Week this year, and maybe we'll pull it off again next year if I can actually get my hands on more TransAm kits. And the MG TransAm kits are stupid expensive, so I don't know that we'll be able to look at those, or at least that I'll be able to purchase them. So we'll see what happens. But of course, if you want to help make that a reality, go buy some Double October merch, whether it's the regular merch, the throwback merch, the tour shirts, or the TransAm Week limited edition shirts. So remember, this is the last day that you can buy those. So if you get the orders in by tonight at midnight, it should be good. So unfortunately, if you missed that sale, well, maybe we can figure something out later on. But for now, that's it for TransAm Week, and I'm so happy that I did it this way. It's definitely a little bit more fun than Jinx Week was last year. I guess I will catch you on the next review. And remember, as always, finally, if TransAm isn't fixing all of your problems, then you probably need a G in arms. I'll see you guys later.